This is one of the hardest jobs in football. To be able to do it, you need a $200,000 camera, years of experience, and crazy exclusive access. And thanks to Oppo, I was able to try it alongside 3 of football's hardest jobs to find out which one deserves a 5-star rating. We'll be rating the jobs based on these 3 factors, and the jobs will get harder and harder as we go through the video. Starting with job number 1, goalkeeper. But first, here are some reviews I found about being a goalkeeper. Stanley says, if you want to feel underappreciated in life, be a goalkeeper. I mean, hopefully the next one's better. Michael says, in my 20 years of playing goalkeeper, I have suffered physical, mental, and emotional damage. Do not recommend. And Lucas says, unless you're 6'4" plus, don't even bother trying to pursue a career as a goalkeeper. Well, these reviews don't fill me with confidence, but let's go give it a try.
So I've just arrived at the pitch, but I'm currently just waiting for my goalkeeper coach to turn up.
And after waiting a short while, he arrived. But it wasn't who I expected.
Yes, Jelani, I'm your goalkeeper coach for today.
All due respect, aren't you a little small to be a goalkeeper?
I mean, you tell me.
And that's lesson number 1. Never judge a book by its cover. Now, according to Lucas's review, you can't be a goalkeeper if you're under 6'4". And I stand at 6'2" inches tall, so we're gonna see if that really puts me at a disadvantage. My coach took me through some specific goalkeeper warm-ups, and then we got straight into the first drill, reactions. And let's just say it was much harder than expected. Professional goalkeepers make this look so easy, but I just couldn't get the hang of it, and my coach wasn't impressed.
This is the life of a goalkeeper. I don't know if I want to do it.
Now listen, Jelani, one of the most important things for a keeper is to be safe and secure. This area, this is your box. I want to hear you say it. What is this?
This is my box.
This is your box. Say it louder.
This is my box.
No, louder.
This is my box.
This is your box. Command it.
But that didn't last long. Goalkeepers have a lot of pressure to win the ball over any other player when it's in the air. And making a mistake here would 9 times out of 10 cost their team a goal.
This is harder than it looks. Ah! Why are you laughing at me, bro?
Yep, I think that was the physical damage Michael was talking about.
No one told me being a goalkeeper is this hard.
We went through a goalkeeper distribution drill, which to my own surprise, I performed terribly in.
Yep. We just lost the ball. Sorry.
Goalkeepers have to practice their technique for years to perfect this, so I still had a lot to learn. For our final drill, before I played in my first ever match as a goalkeeper, we practiced shot stopping.
All right, Jelani, shot stopping now. We're going to start nice and easy.
Let's do it, yeah. I thought you were going to start easy.
Shot stopping is arguably the most important skill for a goalkeeper to have, and surprisingly, it turned out to be one of my strengths. But the life of a goalkeeper isn't all fun and games. So before we ended the session, Ade prepared me for a hard truth.
Alright, listen, Jelani, if your team concedes a penalty during a game, it's down to you and only you to save your team.
Goalkeepers have the pressure of their whole team on their shoulders during a penalty, and in that moment, they either become the hero or the villain. Now that my goalkeeper training was complete, it was time to really experience what it's like to be a goalkeeper in a real-life football match. And stay tuned, because after this, we still had 3 more jobs to try, including Oppo's exclusive Champions League job, which you don't want to miss.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. I'm a bit nervous. My first ever match in goal. Let's see how it goes. Come on.
And straight away, I was thrown into the action.
Hey, no, it's not goal, it's not goal. That was so close, but I made the save.
The opponents were attacking a lot, which was definitely raising my stress levels. But I tried to play it cool.
Hey, I had it covered,
But maybe a bit too cool.
I can't lie, that was scary.
Minutes later,
Wait,
I was faced with my first corner.
Hey, add it front post, goalie back post. Hey, ref, watch this.
And my training came in handy as I securely claimed my first catch of the match. Around this point, I was growing in confidence in my new role.
Shuffle over.
It was starting to feel like my team would score the first goal. And lo and behold, 5 minutes later, we did.
Finish! Yes!
Unfortunately for us though, that celebration wasn't going to last long. Even though I got fingers to it, the striker's powerful header beat me. And shortly after, it went from bad to worse. I was still thinking about the goal I conceded, and that led me to lose concentration for just a second, but that was enough for the striker to beat me to the ball. I won't lie to you, I started to feel really guilty, like I had let my teammates down. But I couldn't give up, I still had a job to do. I started taking extra care of my saves and commanding my area just like Ade taught me.
Keepers!
Meanwhile, my team equalized. Time was running out now, and I pulled off the save of the match to keep the game level. But in the last second, the striker skipped past me in the box, and I brought him down.
How's that been?
The referee gave a penalty. Ade had prepared me for this moment in training, but I still felt so much pressure because now the fate of my team was on my shoulders. Oh, come on. And I made the save. I guessed early and then fully committed, and I got it right. After I made my save, my teammates were all so appreciative, which debunks Stanny's review. And here is my final review. I'm gonna give the goalkeeper job 3.5 stars. But the next job we'll be trying is known as the most hated job in football.
So the next job we are testing today is arguably the most difficult job in all of football. Refereeing.
Now, I have actually reffed a football match in the past, and let's just say it didn't go too well. But first, let's read some reviews. Corey says, being a referee is an impossible job. You can't please everyone. And I don't think he's lying. Ryan says, that feeling of giving players a card on the pitch is unmatched. I love the power. And Darren says, there is more pressure on the referees than on the actual players.
So let's hope it goes a bit better this time.
I already felt the pressure because my decisions today would ultimately decide this match. And from the start, I was called into action.
It's a foul. We're calling a foul there. It was clean. That's
Wait.
Already, I was seeing what Corey meant. You really can't please everyone. And this was just the first of many instances. One of the most important things as a referee is to make sure your players don't intimidate you into changing your decision.
Yeah, offside, 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 offside. You went too early there.
But that is a lot easier said than done.
The truth is, I'm not actually sure if you went early or not there.
The tackles started flying in. It was important that I stayed professional the whole time.
Oh my God. I should give you a yellow just for that shot, mate, honestly.
The game was feeling a bit quiet until this player went flying into his opponent. And that gave me my first opportunity to give out a card. And that's when I finally understood what Ryan meant. I had the power. From the resulting free kick, we saw our first goal of the match. And the orange team was still angry with my decision.
That wasn't a foul. That wasn't a foul.
Hey, if you keep going, that's the scent.
And that led me to question myself. Was I going to be the referee that just let disrespect slide? The answer is no. So I put my foot down and booked the player for dissent. And I had to stay consistent with my rules.
Ref school!
That's a corner!
It's the ref school!
He came over him!
So I did end up booking one or maybe two players more. Because, you know, consistency is key.
You can't stop! You can't stop until I say!
Do you have eyes? Do you have eyes?
You can't speak to the referee like that. That's a yellow card. Any more of that and you will be off.
Okay, come on, you better not.
Late in the game, however, I had to make the biggest decision of the match.
Hey!
The player seemed to handball it inside the box.
No. My hands were down, man.
But as a referee without VAR, you have to make a split-second decision. There was so much pressure from every player, but I had to make a decision and stick with it.
That's a handball! Penalty kick! That's a handball!
After my decision, things were starting to get a bit out of hand.
Hey!
But I quickly calmed things down so the team could take their penalty. And they scored.
Yeah, it's a goal, it's a goal.
But even after the final whistle, some players were still complaining.
That was a disgrace, honestly.
So I had to deal with them.
Hey, that's your second yellow. That's a red, second yellow.
And after my second ever game as a referee, here is my final review. I'm gonna give the referee job 2.5 stars. And the next job I'll be doing is manager. And today, the team I'll be taking charge of is full of ex-Premier League legends like Yaya Toure. But the team we're going up against is a full team of ex-Tottenham legends. So this isn't going to be easy. Now here are some reviews. Magnus says, one of the hardest things as a manager is to take responsibility for the bad times as well as the good times. Well, let's hope today is only good times. Danny says, seeing your tactics come to life on the pitch is a beautiful thing. And Jackson says, managing is so stressful that I started games with a full head of hair and I was bowled by the 90th minute. That is not what I signed up for today. My job today was simple. Set up my team in the best way possible to win this match. And of course, keep as much as my hair as possible, unlike Jackson. And that starts from the warm-up.
Today they got a very hard task. It starts from the back. and I'm at the back of this right now. I have to make sure the warm-up is good enough so they can go out there and compete with the Tottenham legends.
I arrived 3 hours before the match to set up all the warm-ups and the training drills for the players. Usually, managers will assign coaches to do this part, but I wanted to be completely responsible for everything that happened today.
I'm a bit nervous, obviously, because I'm about to warm up some professional football. This is actually my first time ever doing a warm-up for anyone, and yeah, it's for Premier League legends, so fun, very, very fun.
When I finished setting up, my players were ready to come out, and this is when the pressure started to hit me. Standing in front of me were ex-Premier League winners and legends of the game, and I've never managed before, so I was a bit worried that it wouldn't be up to their standard. Regardless, I took them through the drills, and it actually went pretty well. It's so important that my players are fully warmed up to avoid any injuries, so we spent extra time right here. It was now 30 minutes away from kickoff, so we got into some ball work. In line with the tactics for today's match, I set up some passing focused practices to get us used to it from now. The plan was to outscore the opposition today, so linking up like this in the final third would be crucial. We finished off with a rondo, and I was so tempted to jump in myself next to Yaya Toure, but I quickly remembered that wasn't my job today. As the manager today, it was important to build relationships with my players, so before we headed inside, I caught up with the legend and my star player today, Yaya Toure.
I want to win. Yeah. Anyone in the Spurs team you're thinking about right now? No.
And if he's ready, then I'm ready. But that's when I also found out who my opponent manager for today was. The legend, Harry Redknapp. And that now made my job even harder. I sent the boys back inside whilst I picked up the cones and balls.
Kickoff's literally in about 5 minutes. Hopefully my warm-up has helped the boys, and hopefully we can get the win today.
And at this point, the stadium was packed with thousands of fans, and you could feel the pressure rising around the ground. On my side though, I was actually feeling pretty confident about our chances today. But when the game started, I was in for the shock of my life. The Tottenham legends were absolutely ruthless and took the lead very early on.
And Team Tottenham have the first goal.
And before I knew it, they scored 2 back-to-back goals. And by half-time, we were 3 goals down and we'd barely touched the ball. I did try to change the tactics a bit at half-time, and it seemed to work, I guess, because we did manage to score a goal of our own, and we only conceded 1 more goal. The game ended 4-1, but I accepted responsibility for the result. On a positive note though, I had a lot of fun coaching the legends, and at the end of the 90 minutes, I still had all of my hair. So that's a win to me. For my final review, I give the manager job 4 stars. But the next job we're doing is the craziest one yet. After doing 3 of football's hardest jobs, it was finally time for the final job. Match day photographer. But not just at any game, pitch side at a Champions League game. Oppo, the official smartphone product partner of the UEFA Champions League, set us the challenge of being the official matchday photographer. Our exclusive job with Oppo started here in London, where I jumped on the train and headed to Paris. When we arrived, we were taken to a 5-star hotel, which was amazing. And fun fact, this was the same hotel the Atletico team was staying in. This hotel was pure luxury, and I did a quick room tour before we headed over to the stadium. But before that, here are some reviews. Carlos says, the thrill of capturing the perfect shot from pitch side is a feeling you can't describe. Zellum said, I love my job, but it feels like an extreme sport when you're trying to get the perfect spot and there's 100 other photographers in your way. And Max says, I have been hit 3 times by players shooting in the warm-up. Quite painful. Ah, Max, I'm sure it was. We arrived at the Parc des Princes and I was so excited to head inside. Opera provided us with VIP hospitality tickets and we had to go through an exclusive entrance to enter the stadium, which led us to the Champions Club Hospitality Lounge. Inside, they had live music, a signed Champions League ball, and all the food you could eat. There was still 1 hour before I began my job, so I made the most of it. And after waiting an hour, it was finally time. First, I was given this secret pass that would allow me into an exclusive area of the stadium. And as soon as we got to the entrance, I was given the official Champions League photographer's vest that would allow me access onto the pitch for tonight's match. We then went through the private tunnel just for us that led out to the pitch. And my excitement kept building because as we made our way through, you could feel the stadium shaking already.
It's time to go and be a photographer. Welcome to the most exclusive job in the whole world.
And when we reached the other side, I couldn't believe how crazy our access was.
This is actually insane. The players are literally right over there. So as you can see, we are currently pitchside inside the Parc des Princes right now.
My first plan was to try and capture a shot during the warm-up, but this is also when I remembered what Max said in his review. Being this close to the goal, there was a real possibility that I could get hit in the face by a ball. So I had to be careful.
My mission today is to take the best photo out of every single photographer in the Parc des Princes. And the first thing I need to do is make sure I have a good position.
But there was already one problem. The other photographers had already taken up the best spots, and some of them arrived hours before just to make sure. And I couldn't find a good place behind the goal, which could make this challenge impossible. But whilst I was looking around, I started to see lots of photographers running towards a certain spot. And that's when I realized what was happening. The players were minutes away from coming out now. And that was the big chance for photographers to get the perfect photo. And I had to make sure I was ready.
Okay, so I have to run right now because the players are about to come out and all the photographers want the best shot. So we have to make sure we get there first.
The photographers I was competing with though all had super expensive cameras and massive equipment. So I was at a disadvantage already. But what they didn't know is that I had come prepared. Oppo had given me the brand new Oppo Find X8 Pro, which has a zoom that spans from 15 to 300 without losing any quality. And to make sure I capture everything, I can take snapshots to get multiple images within a matter of seconds. On top of that, the Find X8 Pro is the first Android phone that offers live photo without compromising on quality. So I think I'm in pretty good hands. The area was getting more and more congested with photographers now, and I was seeing exactly what Zelen was talking about. I was even getting pushed around trying to keep my spot. I was literally having to tiptoe, but luckily it wasn't all bad. The stability on the new phone meant that I didn't miss a thing the whole time. Even though I did feel the pressure of being in such an important job, it was an amazing feeling being pitside at the Parc des Princes. I then managed to secure a great spot for the start of the match right behind the goal, and that meant I got so many great photos with the Find X Pro, as well as an amazing view of the match, of course. And once I was satisfied with the photos that I got pitchside, I moved over to the VIP seats to take some more photos.
And now it's time to go to our VIP seating.
And our seats were so close to the pitch that the photos that I took were amazing. But I did get distracted a few times by the match. The Find X Pro aims to capture memorable moments, and it did exactly that tonight. The game ended 2-1 to Atletico after a last-second equalizer, and my work here was done. And now it's time to reveal the photos that I took at tonight's match. Comment down below which photo was the best. For my final review, I give the Champions League photographer job 5 stars. A huge thank you to Oppo for this amazing experience.